Crush.
Welcome to Crush Wednesday. It's Richard to Turnji, and today I'm in Brisbane. We're talking about who's going to win in 2020. Is it going to be franchises or is it going to be independent clubs? And I'm just waiting for Raymond. We're in Brisbane, just coming off a plane. And I thought I'd give you this live a little bit later, hey Holly, because I was just in a bit of transit and I thought this is a great setting because here behind me, we have KFC, and then we have the airport kebabs, and then we have Hungry Jack's. And I know we're talking about fitness here. We are talking about fitness. Thanks for tuning in, Rod. We are talking about fitness. We have Subway as well, and Coles. But the question here is, who's going to win in the franchises? Is it independent or is it franchise owners in fitness studios? Who is going to win in 2020? That's our conversation today. So if you are watching this in replay, what you want to be doing is just make sure that you just hit, you're watching this on replay, and that would be great. And if you are tuning in now, just tell me, what do you think the winner is? Is it independence or is it a franchise? So for example, if somebody purchases a KFC, or they buy a, or if they buy a chicken shop, charcoal chicken shop in the corner. Hey Vanessa, good to have you here. Who's the winner? Now, we are not talking about fast food today. We are talking about fitness franchises. That's exactly what we're talking about today, fitness franchises. So I'm going to make it really short and really sharp because I think one of them is going to die in 2020. Is it the franchise or is it independent? Now, it all comes down to a few things. Let's just recap what a franchise is. A franchise is something that you buy into, as we know. You're going to buy into a franchise, and you know there's a lot to choose from at the moment. If you've ever seen your Facebook newsfeed, the amount of fitness studio businesses that are coming up for sale is absolutely crazy. There is a new franchise fitness studio happening all the time now, and they're coming fast. They're coming from the US. They're coming from Asia. There's a lot that are being created in Australia, from a lot of hard work and testing, and they're becoming franchises. And so franchises are basically when you're buying a system or you're buying a brand, a system or a brand, and the outcome is to make sure that you can move to the end point much faster instead of just creating it yourself. Now, independent means that you're going to create the brand yourself, you're actually going to create the systems yourself, and you're going to create the buzz and everything all yourself. So which one will win in 2020? Well, it all comes down to you, and it all comes down to which one are you going to back and which one are you going to, really make sure it works very well. Now, we work with independents. I love independents, and I also work with franchises. We work with F45s, we work with 12 rounds, we work with 9 rounds, we work with snaps, we work with Anytimes, and we work with a lot of independents. And so we see the best of both worlds and the worst of both worlds. And the recap that I want to share with today is that the person who is going to win in 2020, the one that is going to use the brand equity. I'll say that again, the one that's going to win in 2020 is the person who's going to use brand equity and make sure that they combine that with local brand. So if you take a KFC here as a fast food franchise as an example, or if you take a Anytime Fitness, or you take a Snap, or you take a Tribe or a Vision PT, what you're going to be doing is you have to put a localized content to it. So there's no point buying a franchise and then whinging about that you bought this franchise and there's little that can be done. When we work with franchise owners, it's all about making sure that you can take that top line brand that you paid money for, that you're bought into, and you can actually maximize it much faster than an independent. Isn't that amazing? Because there's no point buying a franchise and not being able to maximize it for speed, maximize it for marketing. So when we do work with franchises, the number one thing is we have to make sure that how do we get this brand that is well known, it could be a positive or negative well known in that local community, how do we get it community based, and how do we make sure that once you've got it community based, you're starting to get your local, your local members, I should say, your local community coming in and choosing the brand over the independent. That's the aim of the game. They choose that because they've seen the brand. Again, it could be a positive or negative experience they've had in the past or know about it. And then they meet you, the business operator or owner or whoever you got working in that department, and they put the connection to a great system and connected locally. Now, but if you've got an independent, you've got a lot of work to do, You've got to create the brand, you've got to create the systems, you've got to create the business, and you've got to bring those clients in. But the plus side of having independent, it means that you can have more flexibility. It means that you can run your own race. So it does come down to is what sort of personality you are. If you're a person who loves to create and loves to do it your way, I would say a franchise is not the case for you. If you're a person who loves the systems and hates creating and finds that really stressful, I would basically choose the franchise in 2020. If you're on the edge of not sure what to do, you also got two different buyers as well, two different members coming into your studio. And you've got a franchise, you've got more people that hopefully have seen the brand and know what to expect. When you've got a independent, you've got more curious members that are coming in, and they're open to new concepts, new ways, new ideas. And so you've got to understand is who do you want to attract and how do you want to attract them. And as I said, if you've got a set, if you're buying into a franchise, it means that you're buying into something that's already preset, pre-done. And your members might come, they might have seen the brand on a national level, and they're coming in for that reason. That's very simple. They're coming in for that reason. Does that make sense? Yes or no? Comment below. Very quiet bunch today. I am doing this live in the wrong time and not my 11:11 spot. And I haven't marketed very well at all today because, as I said, the whole aim of today is to make sure that we can really interact, which was the right option. So I'm opening this for thought, and I'd love some comments. On this concept of what do you think is more powerful? Do you think an independent or do you think a franchised fitness studio is the way to go in 2020? Because 2020 is different marketing. Now, how does the marketing react on both sides? If you've got an independent business, it means that you can be more creative with your marketing. If you've got a brand, it means that you've got set guidelines and rules that you have to work within. Now, it doesn't matter either way. Both ways are working on the same platform of Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and they're both going to have the same pluses and the same negatives. And just because you have a franchise doesn't mean that you get leads coming in every day, and just because you've got an independent doesn't mean that you can attract your audience really well. So these are the problems of both sides. So my summary of this conversation is that I think it doesn't matter if you're an independent or a franchise. The person who's going to win in 2020 in your area is the ones that connect to the local community better, the ones that have more connection to their members, the ones that can offer a better service. And I don't think it's going to come down to brand anymore. I think it will come down, I don't think it's going to come down to any particular brand. It will come down to the brand, if that's an independent or if that's a franchise, the one that connects to the audience more and grabs the attention. Remember, people are very, humans are like goldfish, we have no attention. So it's really making sure that you can get somebody's attention really fast. And as long as your brand is clear, talking to the exact audience you want to go for, that's going to do that job very, very well. It's going to impact the people that you want to impact. So there is no clear winner in 2020. The winner is the one who markets well enough to the end customer or potential customer, which is your audience. So going back a step, you need to know your audience. That's really important. You need to be really clear on your audience and who is your audience. And then you can basically talk to them the way that you need to talk to them. And that you can talk to them with any brand. If you've got a franchise brand or if you're an independent, it doesn't really matter, as long as you're having the right connections with them in your marketing, in your Facebook groups, in your top line marketing, your website. Hey Chris, good to have you here. As long as there's the right connection there, that's all that matters, because people are wanting that connection. People are wanting the right brand to be, to choose that fitness offering. And then it's obviously up to you guys to provide an amazing service that brings in repeat business, and that's a whole different topic. But that's my summary on this topic. And as I said, we work with both franchises and both independents all the time. And it all comes down to who's going to be able to connect their members better. That's all it comes down to. And yes, having a brand is really important. And I'm a big believer on brand first, marketing second, then sales third. You can't sell first. You need a brand first. You need to market, then you need to sell. That's the key: brand, marketing, sales. You must push the brand either way, but then connect it locally to your uniqueness, your message. In our Ninja program, we have a thing called a My Method. So if you are an energy program using the My Method locally, you're losing local ambassadors, you're using local community, you're losing local connections to connect up your brand. So for example, here I am in Brisbane Airport, and if I'm aiming for Brisbane, I'd be using the local advantages around me. So this local Hungry Jack's near me, this local KFC. If anybody's in this area, they would understand that I'm a business that's in this area, and that would grab their attention most importantly. Guys, this is a very short one today. Hope that's helped. So I'd love to know, what is your thoughts on this topic? Is it studios or is it franchises? Where do you think the clear winner is in 2020? I'll catch you next time on Crush Wednesday.
Crush.